Hey all, Natalie here, and I am bringing you a project that I created with the May Cherry Box. You can find an unboxing of the May Cherry Box on my channel. I'll put a link down below. But today, I am not going to go through every piece in there, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to use that enchanted collection that you saw right there of 5 photos. So I'm just kind of seeing how I would like to arrange them, and then I'm going to create a mixed media background. I have clear gesso on this white cardstock. And I have kind of swatched out very poorly the gorgeous metallic watercolors. So I'm defining an area with water only, and then I'm going to drop in the color. I'm also spritzing all of the colors with water to kind of go ahead and let them all be ready for me to pick up with my brush, whichever ones I choose. And I don't really know what I was thinking at first. Like, I was kind of going to do lots of colors, but I end up mostly just doing the purples and the blues. So you'll see me right here. I'm about to drop in like a rust color, and it's a pretty color, but it wasn't quite giving the vibe that I was going for. So I pick it up and I wash it off basically. And so that is one amazing thing about using gesso, which of course, if I didn't use gesso, then all of this water that I'm putting, tons of water on this page, would just soak right through the page and create tears or rips, or, you know, it wouldn't work. But also another good reason for using gesso is that if you make a mistake, it's pretty easy to clean it up. So those kind of dried. You can tell the purple's dried. And so now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add the blue. And I go for a light blue. There's 2 lighter blues. And so I use both of those, one at the top and one at the bottom. So here's where I decided that I don't want that rusty color. So I just added plain water to it, and then I just rolled my paper towels over it, and it really picked it up, like almost all of it. And I'm going to add in some more purple, so it will just kind of like fade in or blend in with the purple, and it will be a really pretty pale, like spring colored background. Maybe like a sky background. Although the day, these are photos of my son and me on his field trip, and it was a very cold and windy day, but like it didn't seem like it was going to be cold that morning. And so we weren't really prepared. I mean, I have a coat on and he does too, but some of the children were there without coats on. I felt really bad for them. We were just all finding like sweatshirts for them in the cars and stuff like that. So the thing about watercolors is they always dry lighter than you expect, or almost always. I mean, there's some very vibrant ones on the market, but they typically do dry lighter than you expect. So I'm adding 2 layers here. And so that's after it's dried with the second layer, and you can see that it's much more vibrant. So that's the nice thing about it, because you can do 1 layer and have a very pretty pale pastel background, or you can, you know, layer it up and have more vibrant colors, which is usually my jam. After it was all completely dry, I went through and added splatter. You need to wait until it's dry to add the splatter, or the splatters won't splatter. They'll just kind of blend in. So I like the look of the splatter. I think it gives an extra layer of dimension, of depth that I appreciate on my page. So that's kind of how I'm going to line up the photos. And now I'm going to start going in and deciding what embellishments and papers that I'm going to use. So this is the Enchanted Collection by Memory Box, which is part of the May Cherry Box. This is a technique I like to use a lot when I have really beautiful pattern papers and I want to showcase quite a few that are like contrasting. So I just tear strips of them, and then I'm going to put them across the top of the page. So I did that one with the vines, and then I did a purple wooded grain, and then I did the one with the florals and the butterflies, which is super beautiful. So it was a cold spring day, but it was a spring day. So these spring papers work well with my photos. So just kind of laying things out. Oh, they have these cute journaling cards, and they're double-sided. And so that one said "Stay Magical." And so I want to use that as a layering piece to kind of fill in that hole right there above that photo. And it kind of is around all of the photos of my little guy, telling him to stay magical. And then that's the ephemera as well. It's this gorgeous set of watercolor plants, and let's see, there's butterflies and flowers, and there was like a lantern, but those trees were gorgeous, and I had a lot of green in the photos. We were on the grounds of a historic home around here, and I just thought they were super beautiful, so I thought they would be great to layer in with the photos. and embellish. So now I'm sticking down my 3 tiered layers of paper, and I only just put 1 strip of adhesive on each one, so I kind of like fluff them up when I'm done. And what am I doing here? I'm I've stuck down all my photos and I'm adding in my ephemera. And I go with these gold alphas that were in my stash. They're thickers. I think they're Maggie Holmes, and they say happy day. And oh, I hadn't stuck my photos down. Now I'm doing that. But that's how they were on the sheet, the way they're stacked right there. And I think that's how I'm going to use them. But then I decide in a few minutes to cut them apart and just do them directly across the whole bottom of the photo cluster. And it works really well because it fits really nicely along the photo cluster. So adding in that gold metallic thicker there made me want to embellish with gold. So I'm just kind of seeing where I want my die cuts to be here and seeing how I like that. And this is when I decide to put the title across the middle or all the way across. Yeah, like that. And I'm happy with how that looks. I do get out my T-square ruler and line those up. And I'll take this on the same thicker sheet are some like vines and some sprigs, and so I wanted to use those. So I like to create a visual triangle, so I have the line of the gold there at the bottom, and so I'm going to have that gold sprig up there, and we'll add another one over here on the left, and so it creates a nice visual triangle of gold. And I will also go through in a minute and add in some additional splatter with one of the gold paints from that lovely metallic watercolor set. You can see I'm using my T-square here to get my title nice and straight. I'm going to put links down below if you would like to subscribe to the Cherry Box, and I'll also put my affiliate link for a cherry on top if you would like to go shopping and pick up some fun things in the store. If you need any suggestions, I'm happy to help. I'm always good at enabling purchases. So the bottom was kind of boring, so I thought, what can I do? So I decided to cut out a border with this border punch. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, I did think it was going to like leave the border attached. I guess I hadn't used this one in a while, so I didn't remember how it worked. But it did not leave the border attached. So I'm going to take the detached border that happened after I did that, and I'm going to just lay it back on top of the white cardstock. So when it's touching the white cardstock, it still kind of seems like it's attached. But also I cut off like, a good almost inch of the paper at the bottom. So the Cherry Box came with this lovely little origami paper, and I was going to create origami for my layout, but I tried a butterfly and it didn't work. That's not just like the easiest craft to pick up. So I'm going to try again. I think it's like one of those practice makes perfect things. So I'm going to layer that origami paper across the bottom there. And then I'm going to stick down that border that I just punched out of the same cardstock and layer it on top. So it kind of looks as though it's still attached to the page. And you can see through the little holes, that gorgeous floral origami paper. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. So I'm going to line that up just using the ends of the page. But you could see me earlier when I was adding the origami paper, I put my page on the grid lines on my glass mat here so I could line it up and make sure that I was staying within the parameters of a 12 by 12 layout so it'll later fit into the page protector. So I'm going to add a couple little sprigs down here on the bottom left just because I thought it would be nice to add a little bit of interest and balance out that sprig up there at the top. And I think that's going to be the end of it. So like I said, I have those links down below if you would like to go shopping and check those out. And pop over to the blog because I'm on there today with this layout as well. You can see all the close-ups and everything. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. Bye, y'all.